in the dead of night.
This is the song Blackbird,
I took these sunken eyes and
originally made famous by the Beatles.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night.
But when Bettye LaVette sings it,
all of my life,
the song is hers.
I have waited
Bettye is perhaps the world's greatest cover artist,
to ride.
and some of the biggest names in music have said so. Here she is jamming with Paul McCartney.
It don't seem like a land.
Elton John calls her incredible.
Kinds of friends. Just to have Elton John or Paul McCartney or even say my name, just have my name in their mouth is very gratifying. It's a pity. I feel like I'm a part of it now. How we take each other's love.
Devoted fans can't get enough of her.
Love.
Yet in a candid moment, Bettye reveals that even with all the applause, she worries about her future.
You know, it's very, very bad to be completely broke and dependent upon even the people that you know love you at 65 years old.
Despite her famous following, Bettye LaVette herself is not a household name, but she almost became one. That was 1962 when she signed her first record contract, just 16 years old.
Oh, it was extremely exciting. It was like a high school student being signed to the NBA.
All these years later, she tells pop star wannabes,
Don't do it. You know, if you know how to do anything else, then you should do it.
Let me down easy.
she says the music business, the pursuit of fame, has been a brutal roller coaster. It took nearly everything.
I gave my child to it because I was away from her continuously. I gave a couple of husbands to it. I mean, because this was the be-all, end-all.
The 1960s, Aretha, Diana, Dionne, Bettye knew them all, was in the same league. But 10 years later, they'd become stars, and Bettye was still waiting. An album she recorded in 1972 was supposed to be her breakthrough. Her record company
Sent me the plane tickets to go on the promotion tour and then called me and told me to send the plane tickets back.
her album release canceled.
And they just didn't think I was that hip or that with it. Suddenly, you know, I could no longer reach Smokey, or I could no longer reach Martha, or because they were getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I wasn't.
No album, no songs on the radio, Bettye was back on the road, sometimes taking $100 gigs and on the verge of giving up.
I quit continuously. I quit every time a deal went bad. I quit all the time. But the people who do like me, they've paid house notes, car notes, and just kept saying, do not quit.
By the time she was
50, 55, these people were just paying my bills then because they loved me. But at that point, no one thought that somebody was going to come and say, hey, little girl, do you want to be a star? Only love.
But then, in her 60s, Bettye was invited to sing at this Kennedy Center concert honoring The Who.
Rain all over me.
That performance was a showstopper.
Rain all over me. Rain over me.
It got Bettye an invitation to sing at President Obama's inauguration.
I was born by a river. More people saw me that day than had ever seen me in the whole 48 years.
It's been a long.
It was like being discovered for the first time all over again.
Either I just learned how to sing, or people just learned how to hear, or whatever, but something has definitely happened here recently.
Now her newest CD, Interpretations, is nominated for a Grammy.
How the hell do they know what it's like to have a graveyard? You know how many people I've watched come up and die in the 48 years? I mean, huge people. And then 2 years later, they were gone. All of them.
Despite her new fame and friends in high places, Bettye has yet to sell enough records to make her rich.
I know what they're saying, son. There goes that old crazy broad again. I thought, you know, after a while I was going to die obscure and broke. and now I'm just gonna die broke.
Well, not exactly. She has been able to make one thing right.
I was not able to do anything at all for my daughter for her whole life, and my daughter is 50 now. My granddaughter just started college last week, and I was able to start her with that, you know, just to be able to help my grandson and my granddaughter. Those are the things that make me feel like I'm a hero. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. I took my broken wings and taught myself how to fly.
Bettye LaVette, after almost half a century singing through the highs and lows,
all of my life I have waited